The 2024 NFL Draft is right around the corner, and we're here to continue our draft preview coverage. I'm Tatum Everett alongside Paul Allen, Gabe Henderson. We all work for the Vikings Entertainment Network. Also got Voice of the Vikings on his tagline. And we'll start with UPA because the hot question we have as we are just days away, the Vikings feel great about their draft if.
The Vikings feel great about their draft if they leave it with a quarterback Kevin O'Connell loves and a defensive tackle who pops rushing the quarterback and ends up being called steal of the draft.
Oh, I like the steal of the draft. Why is that important?
Well, because the rush from the middle for the quarterback, everybody in the world knows, flusters a quarterback more than anything. And this is no knock or affront on anybody who's on the team. Like Harrison Phillips just had the best season of his career. Well, let's get somebody who is Aaron Donald-esque. You know, even though to be deeper, it might not be HOF like him. John Randall, undrafted, greatest three technique, pass rushing defensive tackle history of the NFL. That position and make it steal of the draft so you get it on Saturday in a Flores defense, which is unpredictable, and everybody's like, wow, look what they're getting from that guy in round 5. I think that'd be cool.
I like that. Recently, Kevin O'Connell did say Harrison Phillips had such a great season, but probably played a little bit too much, despite being so awesome. So I think it would be great to see him take a few less snaps and be more effective throughout the whole season, the entire tenure of it. Gabe? The Vikings feel great about their draft if.
The Vikings feel great about their draft if they get the quarterback that they want at the 11th overall selection and then use that 23rd overall selection to trade back and acquire a day 2 pick and or a day 2 pick next year. We know the Vikings don't have a day 2 pick in 2025. So I believe best case scenario is having guys that you can select on each day of the draft each night this year.
Okay, I love it. I love it. I'm also going to participate in this. The Vikings feel great about their draft if they don't overreach for a quarterback and they still bolster the defensive line with a nice talent. I don't want to steal of the draft.
No, that's good.
But I do think that overreaching for a quarterback you could be susceptible. Many teams, I think, can be susceptible to this draft. There are so many teams out there with quarterback needs, especially right around that 11 pick where the Vikings are. Whatever Kwesi and the front office decide to do, I hope that it makes sense for the team as a whole and for the draft as a whole. You don't want to leverage your entire future for this, but you also want to make sure it is the guy of the future. So that would be how I would feel if Vikings would feel about their draft.
Yeah, but just remember, you know, we talked about this on the previous draft show. The right people, all of them, including here, are saying this is a deep quarterback draft in unprecedented fashion. Personally speaking, I don't care where it is. If O'Connell and staff love the guy and they are so proven at working with, Cousins, before he left, had 2 of the best season and a half of his career. And just the way they work with man and like raise people through difficult times. I have a deeply rooted belief in Kevin O'Connell and his staff. And if he loves the quarterback, that quarterback needs to be here.
And until that point, Kevin O'Connell has said that this year he's delegating some responsibilities to his offensive staff so Kevin O'Connell can spend more time with the quarterbacks this year. So that says a lot when it comes to building a guy up, making him be the face of this organization, but also an identity of who this head coach is for this Minnesota Vikings team.
Tatum's over here like, great, we're just not going to play defense. Just roll 8 guys out there.
Why need defense if you can score 100 points?
I agree with you, but I grew up in the SEC. I love defense, so that's kind of where I have to tag out with that, for sure.
Because, Joe Burrow, I guess he was a cornerback, one of your favorite players all time.
You know what, Joe Burrow had a really bad defense and didn't do well that one season where they were a bad defense. We're getting off on a tangent. I got to bring this back in. I do totally agree with you, though, Gabe, on that comment about Kevin O'Connell, because so many of the experts we've talked to over the past few months about the draft and the Vikings searching for the future and the next quarterback, so much of that has been they're walking into a great situation. And Kwesi was asked so much in his final press conference before the draft. Is it more situational or is it more about the player? And a lot of times it is a lot to do with situation, and this is a prime situation for someone. And, I trust the front office, so I'm excited to see who that is, if that is. We don't know how it all is going to happen.
Can't wait.
But be sure to stick with Vikings, with all the Vikings social channels, Vikings.com, the app, to keep up with the NFL draft. We hope to see you out at the NFL draft party, which will be happening at US Bank Stadium on Thursday night. These 2 guys will be there, so you'll be able to say hello to them. Thank you so much to Paul and Gabe for being a part of this. And we will talk to you guys the next time when the Vikings are on the clock.